30 Premier League goals then for Troy Deeney. The assists as well, what are they? 14 of those, so that's, well, by my maths, 44 goals and assists since you came into the Premier League. And look at the company that you're in there with English players in that time. Only 4 of the players have managed more combinations than that. And look at the great names that Troy's ahead of as well. But as yet, no England recognition. And you'll be aware, Troy, what Gareth Southgate had to say last week. And here's a reminder for our viewers.
I think Troy is a player who really suits the way that Watford play, and I'm a big fan of his. I think what he brings to their team and the way that he leads their team in the way that they play and in the games they have. But I think we play slightly differently, and I think that you know, for me, the next forward players that I see that should be challenging are some of the younger ones.
What did you make of that when you heard it, Troy?
I respected it. I'm actually glad that my name's been brought up in the conversation. Yeah, I think it just leads back into our conversation, what we were talking about earlier with people like Rashford. And you know, I'm not saying it should be an England team ahead of Rashford. I'm just saying that what is there to do now? Do you have to, what's the criteria to get an England call-up? Do you have to be playing? Do you have to be scoring? Or do you just have to be young and at a big club and the manager likes it? But I respect his decision, because at least he's come out openly, said, this is what I want, this is what I want to do. And then I think as any player, you have to say, all right, fair play. And he got to the semi-final of the World Cup, so it's not as if he's doing a bad job at the minute, is it? So, yeah, you tip my hat, but I've just got to keep scoring, keep delivering performances to make it so that this debate keeps rumbling on, and at some point he might go, you know what, I'll try him in this friendly and see how it goes. Did you watch the England games last week? Yeah, I didn't watch the Spain game, I watched the second game.
Well, what do you think that you could bring to England?
Obviously, the clear ones are a target man. Whenever I've watched England, you've always had your Carrolls, you've had your Crouches, you've had your Sheringham's. You've always had that different style of striker. I think at the minute we're going very much in the same mould, the same. If Harry Kane comes out, we're going to go, obviously not Vardy now, but a similar type of build, someone that's going to run in behind and probably get you more chances. But I just think I just offer a different dimension. And again, it's being a cheerleader when you're not playing. Are you going to be training every day, trying to get in the team, or are you going to try and offer different kind of things in terms of mentality? And I think that's what separates me from a lot of people, is mentality and leadership.
Right, we've got to get into these Twitter questions, Troy, because they are piling up here. Let's, I think this might be from a Watford fan. Let's start with this one. Which manager have you had the best relationship with since you joined Watford, and who was the best?
Relationship would be Zola. Gianfranco, anyone that's met him knows he's a lovely individual, and you just can't not like him. He's just one of those guys. But in terms of the best, I'd probably say Marco Silva's would have been the best. Really respected what he was doing. Really enjoyed training every day, and yeah, I think he'll do all right at Everton.
Yeah, and you really like your manager right now as well, don't you?
Of course. He knows that. I gave him a hug before I came on here this morning.
How was Marco Silva different, though?
I just liked how he come in and just set his stall up and just went, this is what I'm about, this is what we're doing, and kind of dissected who he wanted in and out of his team in about a 3-week period. I thought that was, for me, again, Watford had a lot of players at the time. He just come in and just went, right, that's what I like, this is what I'm about. If you don't want to be here, you go there, and I'm going to move forward with this team. And I just really respected the way he worked. And
he had a great start to last season as well. There was obviously all the talk in the press about him leaving. Did you see a difference in him after that?
Yeah, I think you sense it. I think probably on reflection now, he'd probably make an argument he wasn't. But I think with any player, when you get linked with moves or you get any kind of you know, contract talks or things like that, your mind just comes off just a fraction or two, and I think it just reflects to the players.
Would you expect him to be a success at Everton?
Yeah, I think so. With the squad and the spending power which they've got at the moment, I think I'd expect him to take them to the next level, yeah.
One on the players this time, Troy. Who's the best player you've ever played with?
I'm going to give him a lot of credit, but I'm going to have to say Maxi Pereira. People don't realise how good this kid is. He's played in Champions League finals and things like that, and people look at it like we've just found him off the street. You know, like when Richarlison left, it was like, oh God, how are we going to replace him? But Maxi he's frightening for me. He can do anything, and you know he's coming inside on his right foot, but you can't stop him.
Have you found the best position for him now in that Watford team, do you think?
I think, yeah, just out on the left. But it's also the hard work that he does. You know, people don't see he's getting back. He's doing all sorts. He's in our own box helping out. But he's got that extra quality. And for a team like us, you need little sprinkles of magic like that. It would either be him or Nate Chalobah would be the two for me.
Well, you were talking about Chalobah earlier, off camera, I have to say, when we were talking about those players who've maybe taken the decision either to go to a big club, a bigger club from a top 6 outfit, and then you got Chalobah who went from Chelsea to Watford, and a lot of people raised their eyebrows at that, rightly or wrongly. But tell us about him.
Unbelievable footballer. You know, someone that just makes football look easy. No matter what he's doing, he's just gliding, he's effortless, and he's learning. And I think his injury experience will show what he's really made of. Like even today, he's playing in under-23s games. He doesn't have to do that. Could have easily took the day off like the rest of the lads, but he's in, played under-23s game, and he'll be in tomorrow trying to better himself. And he hasn't come to Watford. I hope you don't mind me saying. It's just to come to Watford just to go, all right, I'm happy to settle here. I can play, and I'll be the man. He wants to do that and kick on again and show why he was at Chelsea in the first place.
Is that a surprise for you? Because a lot of the time now we talk about players at the biggest clubs, the younger players, and when they move on, it doesn't seem that actually players or supporters or managers are that impressed with what they actually get. They're expecting a lot more. Has that been a big thing, not just his ability, but his actual attitude to come to Watford, as you say, and think, I'm going to make a go over here? Yeah,
and I think he's still a kid in terms of he's learning and he's growing into his body and stuff, but his mentality is very much like a man. He come through a hard school at Chelsea, John Terry's, Drogba, Lampard. They're not letting him cut corners, so he's still edged in that way and he's still trying to progress. And I just think he's an unbelievable footballer, but mentally I think people are really going to see a different side to him when he comes back this season. Final word on him. How good can he be, do you think? Again, sorry, Nate, I don't want to put you under too much pressure, but I think in 18 months' time, if he's playing week in, week out, you're talking about a £50 million player. Easy. Wow. And let's take another question. You didn't mention Kabasele there, by the way. We're taking a question here from a Kabasele. Troy, why do you always take your shirt off before arriving in the changing room? Because I know Cabba can't keep up with me in the gym, so I'd just like to let him have a look at what he could be like. No, but do you know what? It's just something I've always done. Just take my top off all the time and just I don't even know. I did it when I was a young kid. I just always, as soon as games finish, it's like my job's done. Like, get this off and start getting in to get changed. It's the same as Jamie when we finish Monday Night Football. You'll see it tonight. Let's go to this question as a follow-up question. Here we come. Just how good is Kabasele, and could he play for a top 6 club? Oh, he's watching. You know, he's watching. I would have given him a lovely answer, but he's just come for me. No, the thing with Cabby is growing into a leader day by day. You're starting to see he's not in the screaming and shouting. He's more of he does it. He's professional. He's in it early. He's one of the last to leave every day. Does everything right, and he's learning. And I think people are starting to see now by his performances, he's just growing into this now leader. You know, I think back in the day it was always said, you know, these leaders were the talkers, the organisers. He just does it by what he's doing, and from that. He's then now everyone's going, oh, I can rely on him, and that's the leadership that's growing with him now. Staying on the Watford theme, we were asking this when we were up there the other day. What's your favourite Elton John song? I think Graham Souness's was Candle in the Wind, and Craig Bellamy said Tiny Dancer. Sorry, it's not really my music, but I've said the one off The Lion King. I can't remember it. I should remember it being on The Lion King. You were in it, weren't you? Definitely got teeth like the lion. Tell us, Troy. I mean, we made quite a song and dance, to coin a phrase, about Sir Elton being at the game against Spurs. How involved is he? Does he come and see the players when he comes to games? Yeah, he comes and comes into the dressing room and brings his kids in and stuff and meets everybody before the game. Gives us a bit of a pep talk as well. He's very intelligent when it comes to football. People just think he's a musician, but he loves his football. And his money actually obviously brought me to come to the club at the start. He did a charity concert, which then raised the proceeds to get me in. So you owe him one a little bit. I owe him a little bit, yeah, but I think I've repaid him enough now. Of course you have. You got any musician stories for us? No, I've got the Elton John one. He's talking about his knowledge, yeah. We went to see him, me and Stevie Gerrard.
He was playing the Echo Arena, so I went to see him, met him beforehand, so Elton John. He knew everything about football, and I'd scored another own goal that weekend. He knew all about it, dissected the lot of it, but his knowledge of football. But we knew that question was coming. I had the Rod Stewart one. Where
we had no idea that question was
I know, we just come
all
up
off the cuff.
Exactly. But we were playing Tottenham away, so Rod Stewart, house in Essex, got a 11-a-side football pitch in his ground, so I don't know who organised it. Roy Evans was the manager. We ended up training on the Friday on Rod Stewart's house. So the day before the game, you don't do much, you know what it's like, a little 5-a-side. So, OK, let's practice set pieces. So, OK, we're doing the set pieces, I'm in the 11, we're defending them. But the subs have gone in, because they think they're finished. So Rod's on the side of the pitch. He only takes the corner and scores.
Did it go in?
If he scored, he went in, didn't he?
The Spice Boys legend lives on.
Yeah, I was one of them.
All right, here's to another famous friend then. Big mate of yours. How do you think AJ is going to do this weekend, Troy? Tell us the backstory. How he hears your pal.
Just met in a barber shop, just very, very simply, just two lads going to get a haircut. And yeah, he was training for the Olympics at the time, and I'd just come in off a random Wednesday, just something like that. Just walked in and just happened to have a chat. And you know, like one of those things where two people just connect in terms of like their determination. And I just kind of respected what he was doing. I think he respected what I was doing. And yeah, it just blossomed from there. And when I was locked up, he was always like one of the first to call me when I come out, and you know, I was supporting him when I was inside. And it's just kind of just grown and grown and grown, and we've never changed towards each other.
So what do you think he's going to do this weekend?
I'm going to say knockout. He's talking about coming in a more aggressive style, making a statement. So I think knockout in 6 to 7.
He's got a dangerous opponent though, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
John Price to tell us that much about Povetkin.
Yeah, well, you know, he is difficult, but I think the form AJ's in.
David Price.
If I say, is that the cousin?
Did you say that?
John
A colleague
Price.
of mine at Sky.
Yeah, I got Pricey on the phone. No, listen, Anthony Joshua, you know, he's superb, isn't he? I think obviously you know better than me, but you'd fully expect him to do it. So
Right.
You're all watching him do the pay-per-view.
Absolutely, on Sky Sports box office. Well, you've shown you a dab hand at this, Troy. What are your plans once you hang up your boots?
I've got a bit more time yet, so I'm
Seriously,
trying.
on that first of all, do you think 5 years ahead? Are you able to do that?
Starting to. I think when you, like I say, when you turn 30, you start thinking about coaching badges and different things like that. But I like to think I've got a lot more to offer. Hence the reason the dieting and all these kind of things happen this season, to show that I'm not 30 and over the hill. And Glenn's a perfect example of that. At 34, he's still scoring goals and leading the way. So, yeah, I enjoy this kind of stuff. I enjoy having chats about football, coaching maybe, and then, don't know, just a bit of anything really. I just need something to keep my mind focused. Anything I get my mind into, I think I'll be quite successful at.
But what's the hesitation about coaching?
Just a new generation of kids, really. They don't really listen. I can't control my 9-year-old, so I'm not going to be able to control some footballers. So, yeah, just that in terms of how you... And the longevity of it as well. You don't want to be doing a lot of coaching badge, a lot of time and effort, get 5 games and you end up getting sacked and you're looking for a job again.
Well, you've been brilliant tonight. It's been great fun. Get your shirt off. Get yourself out of the studio. Thank you very much, Troy. Great to see you. Thank you, Jamie, as well.